While we stay present to the V space we created, bring our hands into prayer pose. And allowing ourselves for a moment to feel you feeling me. And I feel you in me. You know, because it's so beautiful when we speak in the first 15 minutes before we start the session, we're really tuning into each other. We feel each other's resonance. And each of us has a different resonance. Just for a moment being present to all these different variations of resonances. And that we are creating this web of support, of caring, listening. To that we tune in. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Nitroma Amritangamaya Shanti Shanti Shanti. We inhale deeply to suspend our breath. We exhale. Please keep your hands connected. Bring your arms overhead. Heels of your hands stay also connected. You might not see mine, but my palms touch overhead. I inhale, I bring my head back just as far as it's comfortable. Exhale, I stick out my tongue and bring my chin to my chest. Inhale back. Breathe through the nose. Exhale, open mouth. Brenda, you can do this easily just with one arm or just keep both arms relaxed. Stick your tongue out as far as you can. Pull your navel towards your spine on the exhalation. Make a sound. Last 3 repetitions. Inhale, bring your head to parallel. Exhale, sweep through your auric field. Rest your hands onto your knees. Then bring your chin to your chest. Right ear, right shoulder. Rotate your head back. Left ear, left shoulder, chin to chest. And from here, reverse the direction. Go back to the left, back to the right, and to the front, and reverse again. So each time you come to the center, you reverse the direction. Inhale through the nose. And this morning, prefer, but exhale, open mouth. And when you exhale, you want to imagine your navel wants to kiss your spine. That's how far you pull your navel in on the exhalation. One more. Come to center. If you can lean your torso straight forward, some of you can bring your hands onto the floor, on the ground. If you sit on the ground, otherwise have them just around your knees. Your spine is straight, but you're leaning forward a little bit. You stick out your tongue as far as you can, and you pant like a dog. Feel the movement of your navel while you're panting. You don't have to pant like this. Find a good steady rhythm. Allowing to bring up all the toxins from deep below in your body and get them out of your mouth. Keep going, we go for 1 more minute. Some of you might experience a metallic taste on your tongue. That's actually a good sign. It means toxins are coming out. We accumulate a lot of toxins actually in our throat. Last 15 seconds. Inhale. Come sitting straight. Exhale now through your nose. Take a few deep breaths here. Inhale, nose, exhale, open mouth. Good. From here, you either hold on to the ankle in front or you hold on to your knees. So we do our spinal flex, but this time we also engage our jaw. So I will, on the inhalation, I bring my jaw forward like. So my teeth are, my lower teeth are in front of my upper teeth. Exhale, I relax. Inhale. Exhale. Are you really moving your spine from the base all the way? Showing your teeth to the world. Stretching your neck, your throat. Fifteen seconds. You might even experience just by this 1 minute we do tomorrow that you are a little sore here. That's a good sign. Good, come to center. Long deep breath. Now I want us to open our eyes and I want you to see that I put my teeth on top, my upper teeth and my lower teeth on top of each other. Yeah, and I make a sound. If I would write the sound, it's THO, but it's pronounced Z, like a long Z. You want to take a deep inhalation. Your teeth are on top of each other. Your mouth is open. You go like Z. Your emphasis will be on the Z as long as you can, and then at the end comes the O. Yeah, this will really vibrate in here, but mostly also here. So it's a healing sound. Some people I experienced in New York, they had a little sore throat. This is a really great remedy. So let's do just a few times. In here. Last round. Close your eyes for a moment. Inhale deeply through your nose. Exhale, open mouth. So we opened your throat chakra this morning, the seed of your truth, the seed of your words, your communication. And I now give over to Nimala.
Thank you, Siddhi. I love that that vibration when that happens in your body and you feel it going through your system wherever it's hitting. It feels so good. Good morning, beautiful ladies. So a couple of announcements, and then we will go on to our topic for today. The first is that this will be in our weekly email as well, but we will not gather on Saturday, December the 11th, the day before we're gathering in person. Since we will spend the day together on Sunday, we will not gather on Saturday. And we will also not gather on Christmas Day, the 25th. But Siddhi and I are looking at maybe having a slightly longer gathering on New Year's Day, January the 1st, if there are enough people available to do that. So we'll maybe chat about that on the 12th. And then privacy. Someone was asking the question last week about the recordings and what would, because they can be publicly accessed, what was on them, could you be seen individually? And I just wanted to tell you that the way that we post them, it's simply Siddhi and then me and then Siddhi. And there are no group, it's not the group. And the only way that you would come on is if you were speaking. But that hasn't happened very often, but when it has, I've edited that out. So there is no, anything you write in the chat section, there's no chat showing, so there are no words. It's just simply seeing the full screen of Siddhi or me. So from a privacy standpoint, you don't have to worry about that. And then also for anyone that comes on after we've started, after Siddhi has muted us, if you could mute yourself when you come on, because sometimes you come on and then you don't realize that you're unmuted because everybody else is muted. And even just the noise in your space then becomes part of our experience. So if you can just remember to mute yourself, that would be fabulous. Thank you. Today, you might guess after City's time with us that we're going to talk about our voice and why that is important for women. I'm sure you have many ideas about why that is, but I want to talk a little bit about that today. Specifically the voice of women, not all voices, but women's voices. Traditionally, throughout time, women have not been encouraged to speak out, disagree, or challenge the status quo. As a matter of fact, we have been burned at the stake for doing such missteps as speaking when we shouldn't. So historically, there has been a tendency for women to hold their tongue. And our voice is associated with the fifth chakra, which is our Vashudi Chakra, which is what Siddhi was activating today with the different practices that she was outlining for us and pulling us into today. And the reason that this is so important is because it's our expression into the world. And our whole system is set up as an infrastructure to support how it is that we can take care of our inner selves and how we can then move what we have to share into the world. We were talking in our gathering before we started our program today about being of service. And the ladies were all commenting on how good it feels to be able to help someone and to be of service, and being able to use our voice as a healing mechanism. We know that it isn't necessarily the words that you say that are healing, it's the vibration that you're putting out with the words. And so for us to tend this part of our body in a way that we refine and we activate our throat chakra or energy center is really valuable to how we serve into the world. And so I want you just to take a moment and this is like a delicate part of our body. If you think about our neck and our throat and our head, how our head is, holding up the weight, our neck holding the weight of this heavy head that sits on top of it, and just allow yourself to massage your jaw and to squeeze it and pull on your ear, and just to feel the connectedness where our muscle and our bone and our vertebrae are all coming together. A lot is happening in this region of our body, in this region, how often we carry our tension through our neck. And if that's coming in through our neck, what's it doing to our throat? What's it doing to the voice as that vibration is attempting to come out of our mouth? What's happening when the muscles that are supporting that area are constricted and tight and knotty? What's happening to that voice? Just allow yourself to even taking your finger and just putting it into those places where we have knots and where we hold tension. It's really something that our neck can hold up this head, the weight of this head. And our jaw, what happens in that jawline, what we hold in our jaw, how Siddhi was having us realign our mouth, how we're holding our mouth. I imagine many of you have mouth guards for what happens at night when we're taking and crunching our teeth together. This is a really important part of our body. Every day we should be giving some time. This is a really great facial as well, but we should be giving some time to massaging and up into your temple and up into your scalp, this whole area, what is happening from your chest up in this region, and really paying some attention to it each day. This delicate area that's responsible for what we're capable of letting out of our mouth, how we're able to allow the sound. So this chakra is combining our head space and our heart space. So the thoughts that give way to what our words are that come out is coming from our head, but from our heart is the sound, the emotion. What's underneath of those words is coming through our heart. So in this one chakra area, we're combining what's coming from our head and what's coming up from our heart together. And how do we express that in the most pleasing way, but as a healing tool? How are we using our voice as a healing tool for both ourselves and for others? Love it if we took time every day to just tend a little bit to that part of our body, to our Vashudi, claiming the voice. It's a delicate balance. It's something that we learn about how much to speak, how little to speak, what is the tone that we speak with, when do we not speak. In the Buddhist tradition, it's called right speech. And there's very deep and profound teachings on right speech around it being as powerful when you use silence as your speech as it is to use words. And how effective are we with using very precise, how are we using language to be so accurate about what it is we're trying to share that we are able to leave more spaciousness between the words, because we're not filling in with so many mediocre words that aren't actually giving the impact and the sharing that we're trying to have happen with our language. If we're really precise with it, we can use fewer words. So our body is this instrument through which the awareness is moving. And this instrument, which is a tool, needs to be tuned and refined. We've spoken about this throughout the last several weeks. We've talked about the different energy centers and how to refine and how to cleanse. But the Vashudi, Visha means poison, and Shuddha is to rinse or to cleanse. So Vashudi is the cleansing of the poison. And what it means is that we're cleansing our capacity to communicate and use our words in the most appropriate, most centered, most dynamic way possible, even if that means silence, purifying the poison that can live in words. We all know how, if we've been the recipient of, or if some words have spilled out of us and we've shared them in a way that we felt, you can feel bad for the day or multiple days when you've said something in a way that you just regretted because it came out and in a moment of, a moment of anger or judgment or fear, we just have allowed things to tumble out. And it isn't about control and restraint. It's about us choosing so carefully that even in a moment of fear, anger, judgment, we're able to collect the words that we want to use and to communicate. So here's where women get shut down. When we go into fear or anger or judgment, we tend to just not speak. So instead of actually looking for what is our avenue in, we just withdraw. It's either we're crazily bansheed going nuts or we're doing nothing. But that in between area where we're really communicating in an effective way often gets abandoned. We abdicate. So how do we purify ourselves and our system so that as the energy is moving through us, we utilize the Vashudi, this energy center that is so powerful in our presence and in our serving into the world? How do we make sure it's as clean and purified as possible? So some of this refinement and this purification can be done in the practices that Siddhi gave us today. Anything that allows a sound to come through. So humming is wonderful. Just allowing sounds to come through, like a sigh. A sigh is a wonderful expression of something just moving through you, not necessarily unhappy about something, just allowing the settledness of something to come through you, and you just sigh. Ohms. If you can pick up ohming for 5 minutes, 2 or 3 times a day, Om is the vibration that you will, one of the words, Sanskrit words, that you will feel the vibration, the hum of that so strongly when you practice it regularly that your whole body starts to vibrate with that. But it starts in your vocal cords where you're initiating it. So utilizing ways that we're letting words and sounds come out of our mouth, not just to be responding to someone, but just to be allowing the vibration to be felt within us. So you're on your own. Talk to yourself in ways where you're trying different words and different sounds and different tones. It isn't the words that we use, it's the tone that they're delivered in. So how do we listen to the tone of our own voice? How do we allow the vibration of the words that come out to be so effective? It's an intention, it's an awareness that we pay attention to what it is that's coming out of our mouth and how we're hearing it, and really protecting this part of our body and allowing the strings of our vocal cord to be activated and to be practiced and to be worked with and to be lengthened. We have to work with them. If you are a singer, you know the different practices that you take to utilize your vocal cords in the most effective way possible. Sanskrit, which is the mantra, the base of most mantras are in Sanskrit. And Sanskrit is a tonal language. You can't even translate it word for word. There is no translation in Sanskrit. The words have a vibration that changes what's happening in our body and what we're putting into the world. It isn't, you're not able to translate it into this is what it means. It's more of a feeling that comes through you. So we try to give words because in our way of communicating, we want to be able to communicate what something means. But many masters, if you're learning a mantra, if you're being initiated into a mantra with a teacher, particularly Eastern teachers, they won't even tell you what it means. They will ask you not to look up what it means, if it's even possible to find it, because they want you to be able to have the vibration happening in your body, not in your mind, not having you draw conclusions about what's happening in that line of sounds, that you're actually allowing those sounds to simply activate, purify, cleanse your system and move you through your spiritual development. That's why mantras are so powerful and so important for us. One of the things that we do when we're trying to activate and utilize our voice in the most effective, brilliant way possible is that we practice all of the other energy centers and chakras. So you can't jump over the first four and just get to our fifth. If you're only concentrating on the fifth, you have lost the groundedness and the stability of your first chakra energy center of your Muladhara. If you can't embody the power that you're getting from your Manipura, that's coming from your gut, we have to harness the groundedness and the power and the beingness of love, all of the aspects as we're building in our integrated system, we have to harness those. So what comes out of us is a result of this integration of the bottom chakras. They're building. The chakras on the lower chakras are denser. And as we move up in the chakra system and energy center in our body, they become more and more subtle. So by the time we get to our Vashudi, it's very subtle energy. The vibration is very subtle. And if we haven't set the foundation and accessed our own truth and our own power center, and we haven't experienced that we are love, coming from our anahata, coming from our open heart. If we have not experienced that, we're unable to pull all of those parts of ourselves together to utilize the voice into the world. So here at the ashram, when we're doing sadhana, we chant many hours a day. And you will notice for yourself when you're doing that, that your voice is actually changing. You can hear the change in it, and people will say you sound different. It actually changes the intonation and the vibration of your voice by the repetitiveness of allowing that activation to happen a certain number of hours a day, whatever that happens to be. So if you can incorporate mantra and chanting into your day, as you're just going through your day, wherever you are, that you're able to chant into the space, to be chanting, choose a mantra. Om is so easy. It's such a simple way of activating so many parts of our energetic system that it's a great place to start. It's simple, it's a go-to. So if we are harnessing all of our energy centers and pulling it up into our voice and into the sound that's coming out of us, we're able to take what it is that we have to offer into the world. And it's the littlest things. I know women say to me all the time, it's not that I don't speak what I need to speak. I can say what I need to say. It's that I often let the little tiniest things go because I don't want to be picking at everything. So I just let things go. And then I find that it's harder to re-enter. So I stop speaking to my truth. It's the little things when somebody says something or something happens and you feel intuitively that you need to just speak gently to it, just to have an honesty around a situation or around an occurrence or around a preference. You're allowed to have preferences without it taking out somebody else's stability or somebody else's opinion. You're allowed to have preferences. So using the voice in very subtle ways, allowing that subtle energy that is our voice to also be the delivery that we're giving into it. So that as we offer whatever we need to say into the world, it's said with a different quality. And when it's said in that way, things are received differently. People hear us differently. They respect us in a different way. They're willing to acknowledge what our preferences are or what we're requesting. So practicing this intertwining and this integration of the fullness of ourselves so that when we get to this part of our subtle energy and what we offer into the world, it's been refined and activated and cleansed. So this week, I'd like you to spend a little bit of time every day just focusing on your voice, and you open yawn, just opening your jaw and your mouth and allowing a sound, whatever sound comes out, whether it's sweet or a roar of the lion or whatever it happens to be, and allowing sounds to just come up from your base of your feet, from the soles of your feet, all the way through out your mouth, allowing the movement and expression for no meaning. There's nothing about the meaning of it. It's simply sound coming through you. And start to feel into that movement of sound and vibration within your whole body and see how that feels. It'll be fun.
Wonderful. Thank you, my dear. I also thought, most of you, that's my assumption, it's not, that's a fact, but I assume that a lot of you do have an astrology chart. So you know about, when are the planets coming in. And a wonderful way to work with the planets is actually with a mantra. For example, my Mars is coming in. It's a very fiery, masculine energy. It's also the energy, where you can easily trip and fall, accidents, but it's not only just that, it's just a force. So, and for me, so now I'm incorporating a mantra every morning, which is not sweet, soft, and kind and gentle. I'm using a very powerful mantra. So everyone around me here in this resort probably hears it every morning very early, because it has this drive to it. So I'm engaging Mars instead of allowing Mars to fully engage me. So really finding the interplay, bringing in this energy that I not naturally have inside of me at this time. So I just wanted to give you that hint. So if you have a chart and you can look it up, or you could call your astrologer, and then you find, your song, your vibration that you can bring into it. I thought this morning what we could do is we use the BG sounds, because what Nirmala said, it's important to activate the lower energy centers so that the fifth chakra can open. So we will use the lam, vam, ram, yam, hum. Yeah, with the hum we stop today. We are not going higher. So lam is for your first one. You focus on your sacrum. Then lam, vam is your second one, right here below your belly button. Ram, your solar plexus. Yam is right here at your heart. And then hum. So I want you to actually have your fingers like this, the back of your hands touch, and it's like, let me show you once and then we can do it together. It's like lam, ram, ram, yam, ham, lam, vam, 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 ram, yam, ham. Rest your hands onto your knees or your thighs, palms facing upward. Bring your awareness into your first energy center at the base of your spine. Then below your belly button. Your solar plexus. Your heart center. And into your throat center. Maybe you feel a vibration, you feel a movement that's distinct from your sixth chakra, the third eye, and your crown. Just be with what is. our palms together. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed the practice and the lecture discourse. Have a wonderful weekend. Let me see.